And that brings us to today, May 14th, 2023.
It's Mother's Day, but yet a very painful day. The city of Buffalo is coming together in remembrance this afternoon, honoring the lives lost and the lives forever changed at Tops on Jefferson Avenue 365 days ago. This moment of remembrance is expected to begin any moment now.
News 4 has team coverage of today's event, which will be led by Mayor Byron Brown, as you see there, joined by leaders such as Governor Kathy Hochul and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Our Kelsey Anderson and Tara Lynch are there on Jefferson Avenue right now. And we take you live now to Jefferson Avenue. As we said, Mayor Byron Brown leading this remembrance.
Your words to the children were inspiring. I got to interpret them.
Oh, thank you so much. I think we're good.
Mayor, actually, Mike, hold on one second. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here at Tops on Jefferson Avenue for the 5/14 Remembrance service. I want to thank our Governor Kathy Hochul, United States Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Tops President John Persons, our New York State Attorney General Letitia James, and Reverend Al Sharpton for your support of our community during this very difficult time. Today's memorial program will include a moment of silence at 2:28, the exact time when the mass shooting occurred. It will be followed by a reading of the names of the people whose lives were taken on that tragic day, and will conclude with a prayer offered by Reverend Rochelle Robinson. Because this is Mother's Day, I just want to take a moment, even on this somber day, to recognize all of the mothers, to thank the mothers who are here with us today and who are watching and listening. Thank you for what you mean to our families, for what you mean to our community. I did not want to let that day go by without recognizing the mothers. It was 365 days ago when a white supremacist drove 2 hours to our great city with the expressed intent of killing as many black people as possible. He took 10 lives, 10 precious lives, and injured 3 others, and left an entire city traumatized and grieving. In the days, weeks, and months since the mass shooting, Buffalonians and Western New Yorkers came together in amazing ways, lifted each other up, supported each other in our grief, and showed the world why we are known as the city of good neighbors, the way this community came together. I want to, as I conclude my remarks, recognize the families of those whose lives were taken, those who were injured on that day, their families, and those who survived on that day. The way you have stood up, spoken up, the way you have represented your families, yourselves, our community, has been nothing short of amazing. I consider all of you heroes. The way you have, in the face of the most unimaginable tragedy that anyone can think of, the way you have represented your families, yourselves, represented this community. Thank you to all of the families. Thank you to all of the survivors. Tops Supermarket came to this community more than 20 years ago now. Came when other supermarket chains were asked to invest and wouldn't. When other supermarket chains could have invested and didn't, Tops has been here. The folks that work at Tops consider themselves a family, and they consider the community, the Jefferson Avenue community, part of their family. Someone who helped hold that family together during this time is the president of Tops, John Persons.
Thank you, Mayor. And before I start, I would like to say to all of our guests that are gathered here today, I sincerely appreciate all the support that you have given us over this past year and given to, the team of this Jefferson Avenue store. They are a group that we love dearly, and they needed support. They needed people to hug them, and either physically or emotionally over the past year. And there's so many people that are here today and so many people in the community that did that. And I got to tell you, I'm forever grateful for everything that you've done for the store team, so thank you. Still hard to believe that 1 year ago a racist attack took place right here in this neighborhood, not someplace far away, but in a place that we call home. Today our hearts still ache for the 10 beautiful lives that were taken from us far too soon. They ache for the families of the victims, and they ache for the many, many survivors. It was an act of unthinkable hate, but yet our community responded with an outpouring of love and compassion. As we gather together to remember and reflect, we recognize that even during those darkest hours, our community and the Tops Jefferson store team have shown remarkable resiliency. And together, all of us have proven to the world that hate will not and cannot win. That was a mantra that the store team took on a year ago, and they live it to this day. Later this year, Tops will be installing a permanent memorial outside the store on the corner of Jefferson and Landon to memorialize those precious lives and support our collective healing. Alongside a local architect, a community-informed planning committee helped develop the honor space, which will begin taking shape in the coming months. None of us will ever forget the events of 5/14, nor should we. And if anything can be said, our community was brought closer together, and doors have opened wider since. We've forged new relationships and embarked on important initiatives to build partnerships that come from a place of genuine sincerity and a true desire to want more for our neighbors and for each other. With resilient hope, Tops will continue to stand by you, our community, as we look forward to the important work still ahead in the Jefferson Avenue neighborhood, the city of Buffalo, and in Western New York. Thank you so much.
We are fortunate in this community to have the best governor in the nation. When this occurred, one of the first calls that I received was from Governor Kathy Hochul. And since that tragic day on 5/14, I've heard from Governor Hochul often. Obviously, Governor Hochul is one of us. She lives in Buffalo. She feels the pain that we feel. And she has committed significant resources to East Buffalo, the east side of Buffalo, that will specifically benefit the part of the community that was most affected, the black community. It's now my pleasure, my privilege, my honor to ask our governor, Kathy Hochul, to come to the podium.
Good morning, fellow Buffalonians. It's a beautiful day. It's Mother's Day. And the cruel irony behind the fact that it is a day we celebrate a life that comes into this world, making someone a mother, is also a day we're here to think about those who are no longer with us. It's hard. It's been a really hard year. And we are so grateful that we had a leader like our mayor who stood up shoulder to shoulder with this community, unrelenting in his pursuit to just try to heal us and bring us together. And I applaud his leadership at a time when we needed it most. And I want to give another round of applause to our great mayor, Byron Brown. Also joined by our majority leader, be hearing from Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in a few moments, our Congressman Brian Higgins, my partner in state government, our incredible Attorney General, Tish James, who has taken on the fight because she was here, just like we all came here. And she's taking on the gun manufacturers, and she's taking on the social media companies and saying, stop spreading hate in our country. So thank you, Attorney General James. Our other partners in state government, Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Spokes, Tim Kennedy, Sean Ryan, and our Attorney General, our District Attorney, we're all here together. But this is not just one day. What happened 1 year ago, on a day that was just like this, it was sunny. People were shopping, buying birthday cakes, bringing home dinner. All the people who came into this store, and I want to thank John Pierce because you've done an amazing job on the aftermath, but this is a place where people gathered. They brought food to nurture their families and continue traditions of sitting around a table as one family. And what I saw in the aftermath was that same sense of one family here in Western New York that made me so proud. We mourned together, we hugged each other, we wept for days and days, trying to figure out some sense behind this. But all I know is we stand here 1 year later, this building, this neighborhood, this community, a testament to the simple fact that hate did not win on that day. The white supremacists did not win on that day. Racism did not win on the day. That the people of Buffalo said that love will come out and be the winner on this day. So I am proud of you, my fellow Buffalonians. I am so proud that we can stand up together, united. And I also want to say to the families and those who are here, who've walked out with their lives, the store employees, the trauma that was inflicted, the emotional harm. We're here to help you heal. This is not just put up a memorial and we walk away. We're committed to helping you rise up once again. And the pain that you must feel, even this year alone, 202 times you watched the news and you saw another community traumatized, another name on the list of those communities that endured a mass shooting. I know it's hard to step back and say you're going to be okay, but we're here with you. We're not abandoning you. We are committed to building up our local economy, creating more jobs, giving our kids alternatives, helping our small businesses, ending the food deserts. We are here for you because that's what we do. Buffalo is a city of not just good neighbors, but a city of love. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
Since 5/14/2022 in the city of Buffalo, all of us hoped and prayed it would never happen again. But since that time, there have been over 650 additional mass shootings in the United States of America. What happened in Buffalo, and then shortly thereafter, what happened in Uvalde, was the emphasis well, I can't say it right now, but you know what I mean, was the fuel, was the fire that led our lawmakers in Washington to pass the first meaningful gun legislation in over 30 years. One of the individuals, one of the leaders in Washington that led the effort to get that legislation passed is with us today and was with us shortly after 5/14. That's United States Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and let me echo what the governor said, what a great job you do in so many ways, but one of the most important is bringing us all together during times of joy and during times of sorrow. I thank our governor for her great leadership here and all of my colleagues in government as well for being here, members of the clergy. Well, you know, I spent an hour walking around before this memorial service, and people from every corner of Western New York and beyond were here. We've all come together. We've all come together to feel the pain that we felt that day and still feel today, but also the resolution that we are not just going to feel pain, we are going to make some good come of this. Because that's what the scriptures teach us, that out of the greatest of tragedies can come some of the greatest of good. And I just want to salute the families. I want to salute the families who signify, who embody that parable. The unbelievable pain that they live with every day, that we can share a little, but can never understand its depth. The mothers who were taken away and grandmother who was taken away, we think of them. I thought of them this morning when I woke up and realized it was Mother's Day. I remember all of that. And yet, here's what the families did. It sort of symbolized to me a week after I attended Zair's birthday party. He had been shot. But the community came to put their arms around him at that day. But even of greater consequence, although love is of the greatest of consequences, is what the families did. They came to Washington. They stared legislators in the face and said, "How can you let this go on?" And due to those families, as the mayor mentioned, our Senate and then our House, Congressman Higgins played an important role there. Our Senate and our House passed the most significant legislation for gun safety in 30 years. As author of the Brady Law in 1994, as author of the assault weapons ban, we couldn't do it until the families came down and looked those legislators in the eye and said, "We have suffered. We don't want others to suffer. Nothing will bring my father, my mother, my son, my child back. But we don't want it to happen again." It's an amazing thing what the families have done. The scriptures teach us that when some tragedy befalls you, the natural human inclination is to curse the darkness, to turn inward, to be angry. But the scriptures also tell us if you can overcome that natural human feeling, that to do something to make sure it doesn't happen to others, the horribleness that happened to you, is to light a candle, is saint-like. These families, I spoke to many of you as I talked here in the yard, you are saint-like, saint-like, to simply not curse the darkness, but to light candles. And because of the law we were able to pass because of you, there are hundreds of people alive today who would be dead. We improved the red flag laws. so someone, a family member, others could go and say, my brother, my sister, my child has a gun, take it away. We said that 18-year-olds couldn't get assault weapons. Is it that horrible, bigoted creature, if you can even call him a creature, got one? We put money into mental health services, which were so needed, all because of the work the families did. Now, we have a lot more to do. This fight isn't over, but you are an inspiration. You are an inspiration to me, to so many others in the Senate and House who talk about what you have done, and to all of Western New York and all of America. May God bless you, and may God help you find at least some degree of peace in the face of this tragedy.
We again want to thank so many members of our community for coming out. I want to recognize the members of the clergy. There are many members of the clergy who are with us today. Your prayers, your being here on Jefferson Avenue, your preaching about this in your churches, your synagogues, your mosques, your being present in the community was part of the glue that held Buffalo together after this terrible occurrence. We talk about the strength and the resilience of the city of Buffalo. This has been 5/14 Remembrance Weekend, a time for us to remember and reflect. The weekend was organized by a committee of people that did a tremendous job in helping to bring our community together, helping in the healing process. I want to just recognize the chairs of the Remembrance Weekend: SUNY trustee Eunice Lewin, Dr. Michael Edbauer, the president and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield. I want to recognize elected officials and others who have been here on Jefferson Avenue often, who have been here frequently in no particular order. His name was mentioned, but I want to mention it again. Congressman Brian Higgins, District Attorney John Flynn, our New York State Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes, New York State Senator Tim Kennedy, New York State Senator Sean Ryan, Assemblyman John Rivera, Legislator Howard Johnson, again our Attorney General Letitia James, our Chair of the Erie County Legislature, April Baskin, the Comptroller of the City of Buffalo, Barbara Miller Williams, our council members who have been so present here, Councilmember Joseph Golumbek, Councilmember David Rivera, Councilmember Mitch Nowakowski, Councilmember Ulysses Wingo, Councilmember Chris Scanlon, Councilmember Brian Bowman, Councilmember Joel Ferraletto, and our Council President, Darius Pridgen. I also want to recognize law enforcement, the Buffalo Police. Story has been told about the amazing response of the Buffalo Police Department, others in law enforcement that responded, the Erie County Sheriff's Department. Our Erie County Sheriff John Garcia is here with us today. The New York State Police, the Superintendent of the New York State Police is here with us today. Federal law enforcement, the FBI, I want to recognize the U.S. Attorney for the Western District, Trini Ross, who is here with us today. And I think I have already mentioned our District Attorney, John Flynn, but I want to mention him again because he has been a constant presence in this community as well, and also bringing the murderer of our community members to justice. Now I will read the names of those whose lives were taken and those who were injured on 5/14. Roberta A. Drury, Margus D. Morrison, Andre McNeil, Aaron Salter Jr., Geraldine Talley, Celestine Cheney, Hayward Patterson, Catherine Massey, Pearl Young, and Ruth Whitfield. Also, I want to mention those who were injured. Zaire Goodman, who is with us today, Jennifer Warrington, and Christopher Braden. Now, please, let's take a moment of silence. Thank you. Now, to close us in prayer, I want to ask Reverend Rochelle Robinson to come at this time and to close this remembrance and this memorial service to the precious people whose lives were taken on 5/14, to those who were injured, and to the survivors. We want to end with a moment of prayer.
Did you know that the average tree has as much mass below the ground as it does above? Because of how it is rooted. Sometimes our roots aren't always appreciated. Well, Buffalo, today, I invite you to appreciate your roots. We are rooted in resilience. We are rooted in strength. We are rooted in this community. And I am thankful for all of our roots that make us who we are, Buffalonians. Let us pray. O holy and gracious one, we come before you thanking you for continuing to operate in the lives of your people, healing us as only you can. We pray for continued healing for the surviving families. We pray for the continued healing for this community. God, we ask you to put our broken pieces back together again. Knit us together in unity for this community. Bind us together in love like the roots of a tree. God, in your word, you said you are the vine and we are the branches. Help us, draw near to us that we might branch out, spreading love and not hate. Spreading love so that we can show this world hate did not win. Hate cannot win. Why? Because love will always win. Love will end hate. Love will always win. And we stand here as Buffalonians to prove it. Amen.
Thank you all very much. That concludes our program for today. Again, we thank Tops on Jefferson Avenue. We thank the Tops Corporation for allowing us all to gather here today, for closing the store today in honor and memory of our loved ones. Thank you.
We have been watching live coverage of a very emotional remembrance service for the victims lost in the Tops mass shooting 1 year ago today. A very emotional service. Governor Kathy Hochul reminds us that as we mourn the loss of the victims, hate did not win on that day. Racism did not win on that day. Love rised up. Love will always win.
That was really the theme of this service, wasn't it? Several of the speakers here talking about hate did not win that day. Love will always win. And I think there was such a warm embrace around the families of these victims there. A large turnout, which we'll be showing you in a moment there. Many people turned out because this was something that people could do on this day.
And Senator Schumer praised the families for hanging in there together. He called them, they were saint-like for all the pain they've suffered and to try to make something good of all this painful death and tragedy.
Bringing their stories to Washington
Right.
so that Washington would pass some measure of gun control after this. Governor Kathy Hochul, of course, also brought some measures of gun control here to the city. There has been change, and that's a great deal of discussion is how much has changed over this past year. I hope you were able to watch our special report, which aired prior to this 1 hour special, and we really delved into that. How much has changed in the past year?
Also, how much this tragedy has knitted the community together and how many different organizations responded to the east side of Buffalo. We realized about the food desert. We realized about the needs, as Kathy Hochul said, job opportunities, investments in people's careers, having more opportunity and job growth for them. That's the good that'll come out of this.
Seeing so many people come together, and I think Reverend Darius Pridgeon said it best when he said, the racists, they thought they were going to divide us. Instead, they brought us together.
Our team is on the ground there at Tops and Jefferson for this wonderful event.
Kelsey Anderson is joining us now with details of this Remembrance event. And Kelsey, we're curious about the atmosphere there. We saw a lot of security around. What are you seeing on the ground?
Yeah, it's Don, Jackie. Obviously, I want to start out with the fact that this is just so emotional. I've had so many people come up to me, and there's not really many words we're saying to each other. It's just one of those things you don't know exactly what to say to each other. just support one another out here. You mentioned the high security. There are people on top of the tops, law enforcement on top of the roof up there, law enforcement all over. Security is definitely tight. But let me talk about the people who showed up today to this remembrance. We, of course, heard from Mayor Byron Brown. We heard from the TOPS president. We heard from Governor Kathy Hochul. We heard from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. But what about the others who are here? We have so many people from all over Western New York who came down, and I want to just mention a few of those. We've seen the New York State AG down here, Letitia James. We've seen Erie County's AG down here. We even see former football great Thurman Thomas down here, and so many others. And then the others who, you know, we don't know their names, but they live in the city of Buffalo. They live in Western New York and were highly impacted by this. The quote that kind of stood out was probably from Kathy Hochul. I'll play that for you. That kind of got the most applause. Let's play that now.
That hate did not win on that day. The white supremacists did not win on that day. Racism did not win on the day. That the people of Buffalo said that love will come out and be the winner on this day. So I am proud of you, my fellow Buffalonians.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer came up to me before this all started. He said he just really wanted to make it clear he was so thankful that the families of the victims came to Washington instead of staying here in Buffalo and going to Washington fighting for gun reform. He said thanks to them, they passed the gun safety bill into law. That was last year, of course. So I will be down here live talking to many more folks. I know Tara Lynch is here as well. She has been talking to so many. We'll go back to you, Don and Jackie, live in Buffalo. Kelsey Anderson, News 4.
Kelsey, thank you.
Thank you. You do get a little bit of different flavor of what was happening in the crowd there as we were watching the speakers today.
I think it was amazing also that John Pearsons from TOPS said to the people, TOPS will always be here in this community. The mayor thanked them for being committed and dedicated to the East Side for more than 20 years. And the president of TOPS says we will always be here for you.
Always be here for you. And there are plans for a memorial on that plot of land right outside the supermarket there where you saw all the flowers and the pictures of the victim. There's going to be something permanent done with that area, and we'll be having more about that in the days ahead. In the meantime, News 4's Tara Lynch is also there on Buffalo's East Side this afternoon.
Well, Tara's been there for hours talking to members of the community who have gathered to pause, to pray, and to pay their respects. Tara?
Don and Jackie, there were hundreds of community members here, and one of them is Lenny Lane of the Buffalo Fathers. He has been here really since 5/14 of 2022. So Lenny, let me first ask you, what has it been like to be here today?
Nervous. Right now I'm nervous. Emotions is running through my body as though we just come out of it. Exact temperature, I think the weather is about the same. It's around the same time, and emotion are running all through me, and it's still unbelievable on today. It's still unimaginable how this racist person can come to our community and take and snatch 10 of our loved ones, and then though it's like it's okay, like, you know what I mean, and we are angry, we are yet still frustrated how someone can walk into a community as a city of good neighbors and just take our loved ones from us. And we are hurting, and we still feeling the pain, and we're just trying to get through it by coming together as families, as a community, and as a city. And hopefully after today we can start to heal, which we know that a lot of times it's going to take a little bit longer than some people to heal. Sometimes it may take a night, sometimes it may take a month, sometimes it may take a year, and sometimes it may take 10 years. But hopefully by us all coming together, we can be truly Buffalo strong and making that happen.
And I remember you telling me that you cried, but you're still crying. But it's, for you, it's about taking that emotion and that pain and turning it into action, the action that we're seeing behind us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have done in the last year just across the street from Tops?
Absolutely. I think what has happened and all of that pain that not only I'm feeling, but a lot of us is feeling, and not really sure what to do, because a lot of times we want to retaliate when things like this happen. But I've taken that raw emotion and taking it and taking care of our community and channeling it in and making sure that this community not only feels safe, but this community get an opportunity to come together and give out food to those families who are yet still suffering or really not just from this mass shooting, but from this pandemic and from this snowstorm. So it's an opportunity to really be a blessing to this community, and that's what I've been doing. That's what our organization's been doing. The Buffalo Peacemakers, Buffalo Fathers, is taking all of that energy that we all have, and taking and turning into something good by loving on these community and loving on this family and letting them know that they haven't been forgotten about, because we know normally after, the day after an event, people seem to, all of these other people seem to disappear. But our organization want to continue to stand here for how long it takes for this healing to happen for these families and this community in the city of Buffalo.
Change and healing, that really seems to be the theme of this next year.
Yes.
By May 14th of next year, where do you hope this city is?
Well, I think we hopefully by next year, I think that we can probably be more coming together as we did, the last maybe last 2 years, because I think was what he wanted to do, what the devil intended to do is to separate us, from one another. So it's all about really coming together, because we see a lot of the different people from all over the community, all over the city, all over the country coming together and loving on one another, which not only that we can build one another up, but we can build this community up. We like to see more greenery. We like to see more trees. We like to see, more things happening, more businesses rise up within our community, so that these families that have been struggling for so long could really strive now and be more productive in making things happen. Because I believe the reason why he chose this place, because he felt that nobody cared. He felt that he can go unnoticed. But what he didn't realize, that we had come together even more so than we did before. So I think what he meant for bad, God turned it around and made it for good. So today it's a day of celebration, but yet still it is a day of remembering those loved ones that we had lost.
Final message for the city of Buffalo, for Western New York, for anyone out there today.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, and we believe our joy has come today. We believe our joy is on the way, when we'll be once again be able to go to our supermarkets, be able to go to our stores, be able to go around in certain places and won't be fearful and won't be scared and won't feel like we threatened that we're going to be taken out.
Lenny Lane, thank you so much. Buffalo Fathers will be here all evening long distributing food to anyone who needs it. Yes. And Lenny, we thank you so much for everything you've done for the city of Buffalo.
And thank you. And if we have to, we'll be here for another week. Ever how long it takes for this community to heal, we want to remain on this site. And with the support of different supermarkets like Tops and like Wegmans, Catholic charities that sustain us, we believe together we can get through this.
Lenny, thank you so much. For now, reporting live on Buffalo's East Side, Tara Lynch, News 4, Donna Jackie, back to you.
Tara, thank you. I want to footnote this also, Jackie. When you and I were over on Jefferson Avenue shooting part of the special that we had in the first hour starting at 1 o'clock, Lenny Lane came up to us. He shops at that Tops. He was on his way to that Tops when he got a call from one of his relatives saying, pick up some vegetables, and there was a favorite spot on the west side of Buffalo where he gets his produce. And that delayed him from being at the Tops. Otherwise, he would have been inside the store when the shooting happened. Amazing.
And when we talked to Lenny that day, he was out there picking up debris and garbage just across the street from Tops. He's there all the time, and I think he made a very good point. Long after you see those tents go away and all these people in this crowd today go away, Lenny Lane and the Fathers Organization and others like him will still be there. And they need to take this energy and this goodwill and help move that neighborhood forward. That's exactly what they do every single day.
He called it Buffalo Strong.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Now, Kelsey Anderson is standing by. She has Erie County District Attorney John Flynn with her right now.
Don, Jackie, I'm here with District Attorney John Flynn. John, just explain the emotion for people who aren't here right now. What is this moment like?
I'm just as sad as I was last year. I remember sitting in this very parking lot, standing here last year. I was more mad than sad last year at this time, quite frankly. But now, I'm just sad. Today's a sad day. It's a sad day on many fronts because since May 14th of 2022, we've had over 600 mass shootings in this country in a year. And there's going to be more. And so I'm sad for that as well. But I'm glad to be here, obviously. This was a very tasteful event, in my opinion. And that my prayers obviously are still with me here now a year later for the community and obviously for the families.
We were talking earlier, this is one of those days in history, in Buffalo history, where you kind of remember exactly where you were when you heard the news of this. Where were you when you heard the news that this horrible act of hate had happened in our community?
I had like a mini President George Bush moment on 9/11. I was sitting on the stage at the University of Buffalo Law School commencement ceremony. I was in my cap and gown, in the faculty cap and gown, literally on the stage in the middle of the law school ceremony when my phone is blowing up, and I'm trying not to be rude for the ceremony, but I look at my phone and I'm being told it was a shooting, and someone, I think it was my security officer, came up to the end of kind of the podium there, and I literally walked up out of the whole dais there in the middle of the ceremony, and people are wondering like what's going on. I then made the mistake of saying when I walked out to the person who was in charge of organizing the ceremony, I said that there was a shooting, and I left it at that and ran out, and they thought there was a shooting there at UB until they kind of realized what was going on. So I created a little drama there at the University of Buffalo Law School commencement ceremony. And then, like I said, I came right down here and we set up our law enforcement command center across the street in the parking lot over there. And we were there for the rest of the night.
As our county's top prosecutor, what are you doing to make sure, hate is eradicated from this community?
Well, we all have our roles, and we all, need to stay in our lane. And I try to do it each and every day. My lane is prosecution. My lane is to make sure that the bad guys are put away and are off the streets. And so anyone out there who's committing a hate crime, anyone out there who is committing a shooting, a homicide, whatever it may be, my job is to hunt you down and put you in jail. And that's what I'm doing each and every day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Live in Buffalo, Kelsey Anderson.
Thank you, Kelsey. And I think he said it beautifully there. What his lane is, his job is to prosecute and get people like that off the streets. And you've seen how law enforcement and the criminal justice system has moved forward in this past year.
Strong response from them, no doubt about it.
We have the shooter who has confessed, who has pled guilty.
Life from state Supreme Court and still facing federal charges.
Right. Federal charges are still pending against him. Now, in the meantime, Tara is talking to a lot of people down there on the site. And Tara, who do you have for us now?
Well, Don and Jackie, I'm here with DeWitt Lee, the founder of St. Brian's Clothiers. DeWitt, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I remember interviewing you just over on Landon Street last year, and the emotion was it was just undescribable, really. Can you walk us through how you're feeling today?
I'm feeling the pain of the people. I'm feeling grateful that I can spend the morning with my mother. It's an absolute mixed emotions as you know we continue to wrap our arms around the families and those afflicted, and we are also mindful of these kind of devastating things that have happened around the country. And you know, Buffalo has now the ability to extend our hugs and our love to the rest of the world. You know, at the end of this month, I'll be traveling to Tulsa, where they'll be commemorating the Black Wall Street massacre, which was another racially motivated, you know, massacre that affected a black commercial district. And so, you know, I think the community has lifted up and has stood up to the task of healing and being able to still love back. It's hard to love when, you know, when your loved ones are taken away by hate, but we know that is love always wins. And you know, I'm proud to say that our storefront, St. Brian CLOTHIERS, which has moved around a lot, is now just a block away here on F.A.T.H.E.R.S in Utica. So we're able to continue serving the men and continue telling and preserving the stories of what took place here on May 14th.
And, you know, one thing that I think is really important to note is you had a call out for some suits.
Yeah.
And you got hundreds of suits, and you're able to help so many people now. Can you walk us through, just tell us a little bit about your organization and what you've been able to do in just this short time?
Well, I tell you what, we had a joyful moment yesterday as we prepared young men and women to go to prom. And so, you know, out of that tragedy, out of, you know, pure grief, we were able to now extend our service to those who are going to be celebrating one of the happiest moments of their lives. And so, you know, the courtesy and the generosity of the community continues to help us serve as we extend our reach on how we can impact through suits, through dressing and brothers. We get to address issues that's going on. And bottom line, we want to change the way people in our community looks so that we can change how people look at our community, and we're doing that one person at a time.
And for folks at home who don't know, you know, your organization takes donated suits. You're able to then give them to community members here, and it all started with helping folks dress for the funerals of the victims of the 5/14 mass shooting last year. Yeah. And now, you know, talk a little bit about, you mentioned that perspective of last year to this year. Where do you hope to see this city, your organization, a year from now, 5 years from now?
Well, the reason we're going to Tulsa is so that we can provide these same kind of services. As we extend the truth that came out of this situation. And I want us to continue talking about the truth, continue talking about the hate that filled one person that created, you know, this massive outpouring of love. And so we have to address these things. We have to be vigilant. We have to protect our communities. We have to make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's what the men are saying. The men want to make sure that we're on guard, you know, for this community, and that we don't let it happen again. So we're hoping to be able to take what we've learned here through the clothing, and just from the learning and the advocacy to be able to go into other communities to protect them and to help the men of their community. So we're excited about being able to continue telling the story of the Jefferson 10, right? Continue telling the story of these mighty men. You know, Deacon Patterson, who, you know, we have his suit enshrined in our storefront. You know, we want to empower deacons of churches around the country because they are, you know, on the front line serving. And so, you know, we just want to continue building on their legacies of what the tragedy that took place here, and continue to be sensitive to all of this, the pain that people feel all over the world.
What's your hope for this community?
Well, you know what, we know what Jefferson was, and I believe we know that what Jefferson can be. And so as we slowly but surely begin picking up the pieces and building up our business community and creating spaces for healing and conversation and conversion and development and empowerment, this is going to be bustling again. This is going to be a place for empowerment and for business, and we'll be doing it in the legacy of the Jefferson 10 and everyone that was afflicted on that day. So we hope that there's a ripple effect that pours out into all zip codes surrounding this one here, and that everyone is able to use this as a moment of opportunity to be able to come together and to be able to stay focused on what's important. You know, today's Mother's Day, right? And so, you know, to all the mothers who are, you know, who are mourning sons, all the mothers who are having a very difficult time today, and all the sons and daughters who are having a difficult time because they're not here. You know, we're more apathetic, we're more sympathetic, and more understanding of the pain that they feel. So,
DeWitt Lee, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and your message of hope. Don and Jackie will send it back into you.
Tara, thank you so much. You know, Jackie, you have to tip your hat to DeWitt Lee and people like him, because he said it is hard to love when your victims and when your family members are taken away by hate, but we are called to love.
He is one of those people who took something horrible and made something wonderful come of it. Today's remembrance honors the 10 Buffalo neighbors whose lives were taken on that day. And we say their names: Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNeil, Catherine Massey, Margus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter, Geraldine Talley, Ruth Whitfield, and Pearl Young. The community is also gathering tonight in remembrance.
That's right. Tonight at 6 o'clock, there is a memorial service for healing and hope. It's going to take place at the Elam Christian Fellowship. That's at 70 Chalmers Avenue. This is on the east side. This will be a memorial church service featuring the Reverend Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant. Reverend Bryant hails from New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia.
I'd like to recall some of the words of Mayor Byron Brown today, who talked about this community and what happened to this community. And he said, we were lifted up, we lifted each other up, we were united in grief, and we showed the world why we are the city of good neighbors. This is the way Buffalo reacted to this terrible tragedy.
It was a joint community-wide reaction to it, and it was fast and furious. And the business community made sure, with massive donations to the 514 Fund, over $6 million in a very short period of time was donated to events and people and organizations on the east side. And I think the Buffalo Bills Foundation said it best: the nonprofits rose to the occasion as well.
Well, the healing from this terrible event continues to this day. We do want to thank you for joining us for our News 4 special, 514 1 year later. You can find the entire special on our website, WIVB.com.
Good afternoon.